Hey, good day, family. Welcome to SacredAshramMinistries, the Righteous Frequency podcast. And I'm one of your hosts, Righteous. And this is where spirit meets sanctuary, where we embrace unity consciousness and strive to revive ancient wisdom in today's world. Um, our mission is to provide individuals with the tools, the knowledge, and the guidance they need to unify their community of self and to give agency to their higher consciousness through ancient healing, sciences, and technology. Uh, we believe that by integrating timeless teachings with modern insights, we create a harmonious and evolved community. So let's walk this path together.
Absolutely. Welcome to another enlightening episode of the Righteous Frequency Podcast. I am Paqo Soul Knowledge, joined by my wonderful wife and co-host, Righteous.
Woohoo! So today we have some really enlightening topics. We're going to get into today. One very near and dear to my heart. We actually mention it when we introduce ourselves, and that's unity consciousness. And we're so excited to share with you some of the things that we encounter and as we walk through our journey and discovering ourselves.
Absolutely. And as we do dive into today's subjects, as always, let's remember the wonderful quote by Rumi, which is, "Remember that the wound is the place where the light enters you." So this always reminds us that our challenges are often led to profound growth. Yes.
Indeed. Indeed. So before we begin today's episode, let's take a moment to honor those who have come before us. We're
Absolutely.
going to do it here, but you can also do it where you are. Um, those that have uh, prayed for us and have made sacrifices and have given us timeless wisdom and have paved the way for us, we're going to go ahead and honor those.
Absolutely. We do speak their names and we bring their spirits into the space with love, reverence, and gratitude. So, with that being said, we do want to give honor to the ancestors, past, present, and future.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Um, so I'll start. I want to give honor to Aunt Alberta, Grandma Virgie, Grandma Gussie, and Grandma Ernestine, and beautiful Yvonne.
Absolutely. Ashe. And for me, myself, I want to give honor and awareness to my sister, Dee Dee, Marcia, my magical godmother, Grandma Sabrina Ali, and my granddad, James Hicks. So you all walk with me in every breath and every step that I take on this journey that we call life. Yes.
So may this conversation
Conversation be
be
worthy
worthy of
of
your
your
legacy.
legacy. Ashe.
Ashe, Aho, and Amen.
Aho and amen. Yes, indeed. So today we are going to go ahead and step into a topic that is near and dear to righteous. This topic is a topic that bridges the ancient with the now, with the current, the present, unity consciousness, and spirit technology. This is one of those conversations that will activate more than just the intellect. It's going to hit the soul, the cells, the subtle body, the fascia, all of that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So before we go ahead, let's see. Let me go into
There you go.
perfect technology. Okay, so because when we say spirit tech, we're not just talking about gadgets or AI chips. We're talking
Yeah,
about the original divine intelligence built into creation itself. And unity consciousness, that's the key that unlocks it.
absolutely. So we do want to start with the foundation, which is consciousness being the original technology. And from there, what we're going to do is we're going to navigate and ground the conversation into something that's a little bit more sacred, which is unity consciousness. Because, when you think about the root of all the true spiritual technology, when it comes to healing and higher wisdoms, once you reach this realization that, we're not separate, that we are one, then, you have a whole next level of community and common collective energy, I should say.
Mm, yeah, that's right. Like unity consciousness is a state of awareness where we recognize our interconnectedness with all
Hmm.
beings, with the universe itself. It's about moving beyond the ego, beyond illusion, and tapping into a deeper current that links everything together.
Absolutely, and it also causes us to challenge the whole idea that we're so-called isolated or independent units. Because when you think of it, it's like a deeper level of unifying consciousness. When you move through every tree, every cell, every star, and when you get to that, it changes how you move, how you breathe, and how you love.
Mm. And yeah, and there's some key principles that make up unity consciousness, right? So, first, there's interconnectedness, the idea that all life is woven together, um, as so beautifully depicted on the picture before you, not
Hmm.
just physically, but energetically and spiritually. Um, it's like how schools of fish move along as one being, or how a flock of birds seem to turn without even thinking. Um, and in watching birds, it is very powerful how they are able to keep up and maintain perfect, symmetrical, and complex formations while flying in the sky because they are so connected to each other.
Yeah, and then like speaking of connect, well, when you think of connectedness, right, you think of oneness, and like with this understanding that it puts us in a place of thinking of things from a larger perspective as like the part of the greater whole. It goes beyond race, gender, nationality, and even time and space. Because when you feel that oneness, then there's a deep sense of belonging. And then that further rolls into a bigger perspective of anything that the world can offer.
Mm, that's
Hmm.
right. That's right. Um, so now let's be real. Like there are challenges and misconceptions about unity consciousness too.
Yeah.
And we do want to address those. Some folks think that it means you have to be perfect or that it's all light and no shadow.
Hmm.
But unity isn't about perfection, it's about holding love, even for the messy, wounded parts. It's about embracing the full spectrum of life.
Right, right. And another thing that it teaches us is that duality, that still exists, right, within unity.
Hmm.
And some traditions that teach beyond the positive and negative, there's what they call a neutral state, the state of no thing. I am connected to no thing, or what some would call divine neutrality. And
Hmm.
that middle ground is where like true unity lives. That's when you come into a space of not denying differences, but learning how to balance them.
Mm, you are absolutely right. I observe unattached is what
Mm,
comes to mind. And this concept ain't new. Historically, unity consciousness shows up in ancient practices all around the world, from the earth grids, uh,
hmm.
believe, believed to move Kundalini energy, to the way indigenous traditions are honored and the land and sky uh, are extensions of those traditions. It's always been a part of a spiritual blueprint.
Yeah, absolutely. But even today, right, when you bring it
Right.
forward to the present, you do see it in a lot of current applications like quantum healing, where science is finally, starting to catch up, and everybody's all into this quantum level of acknowledging things and labeling things. And when we think of what the mystics knew at the most fundamental level, right? They always stated that everything is consciousness, everything has a state of being, everything is vibration. Going into the hermetic principles, um,
Hmm.
everything fluctuating in and out of form. Hmm.
Hmm. Right. And a lot of those structures still hum with energy because they were created in flow with the divine and flow with divine order. And no blueprints, no cranes, just consciousness in harmony with the earth and the sky. And that there is spirit technology.
Mm, okay,
Hmm.
absolutely. So I guess as we do flow into today's deeper build on technology, now that you mention it, um, keep unity consciousness in your mind and heart, because when you think of it as more than just a concept. It's a state of living. It's a state of breathing. It's a part of reality that we all are being like called to notice and remember.
Mm. And it's so real. It is so real. These aren't just wellness trends. Um, when we take a closer look at what unity consciousness entails as a technology, we see it as the tools of revolution, silent revolutions. And when we do this work individually, it ripples into the collective, and that's how unity consciousness spreads um, from the inside out.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. Um, One of the things that I could think of, just like as a reference, going back to like spirit technology, like before there were like pyramids and things like that. There were there were scrolls and what do you call them, silicon chips, and from there that became um, a level of awareness. Like everything that we know, feel, or create begins in the mind, which is consciousness, right? I guess you could say that's kind of like the first state of consciousness, and that's where we pretty much use as the canvas and as the tool. You know,
Mm, exactly.
I had to go
Yeah.
back to that for a little bit.
Yeah. So, so yeah, it's you. You are hitting the nail on the head.
Absolutely.
A lot of those structures are have been put in place, and they've been put in place to maintain consciousness throughout time. Um, we've been able to utilize these structures to maintain some sense of order. But as time has progressed and as we step into this new age, it has become um, it has become our responsibility, our social responsibility to each other, to embrace higher levels of unity consciousness um, as we move forward in this paradigm.
Mm, absolutely. Um, that's pretty interesting.
Huh.
Um, but I guess you could say in today's time, we are seeing, I guess when you talk about the current paradigm, right?
Uh-huh.
We are seeing like a collective awakening through the technology, though. Um,
We are. We are.
hmm.
Yeah, you were mentioning wellness trends earlier.
Yeah.
And we are seeing a lot of wellness trends that stem from holistic therapies and different I don't know. It's funny how we call new age when it's all ancient technology, and it's being brought into a wider audience.
Hmm.
It's no longer being hidden. So it's not really new age information. It's really information that was already existing,
Yeah.
um, which is another aspect, of course, of spirit technology. But um, it's funny how all of those things, those different modalities, are becoming more and more prevalent and more popular. Um, and so it really begs us to take a closer look at um, the newness of our ancient technology.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, when you think about technology and um, ancient technology,
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of goes into the maxim or the perspective of the holographic nature of reality,
Mm,
because one of the things that at least that I have heard, and you know, I haven't seen anything to disprove it, is that unity consciousness um, is teaching us that we are all that all is one. Kind of like what's
mm-hmm.
the I think that's one of the Hermetic principles too. All is the mind, universe is mental. All is
Exactly.
so like each part contains the whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you think about spiritual technology and consciousness, particularly when it comes to like spirit tech, that is by using symbols and sacred geometry and frequency, which goes back to the whole aspect of ancient technology, because like to the I would say the common mind, people would just look at these things as like no more than symbols or like maybe even art pieces or something. But what that is like that's kind of giving us an unconscious conscious universal source code. And when you think of that, you can kind of look at it as like crystal or a sigil. So it's more than just like a so-called piece of art or a symbol or decoration. Like it's a form of an interface spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm. So just going back to um, unity and
Hmm.
in regards to unity consciousness, it's not always easy. I just wanted to make sure that we did address that aspect. Um, it can be messy. It's raw, and it asks you to love through discomfort, which a lot of people have a hard time dealing with. Um, but the freedom, the power, and the peace comes from in it, embodying it. Um, so it's worth everything. And a lot of the discomfort, the pushing past the discomfort, the pushing past the uneasiness, the being willing to um, set aside challenging feelings within our ego. Um, it really calls for us to draw on inner strength to be able to forge the relationships necessary to embark upon true unity consciousness. Um, so yeah, but family, it's worth everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely is. Um, Removing ego is definitely important.
Hmm.
I,
Yes,
I,
indeed.
I, I definitely, you know, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, these symbols and these the frequency itself, when we think about um, unity consciousness, is really profound. Now, I know you really kind of have a little bit more to say in that, because you this is like um, this is your area more so than me. So um,
Okay, well, maybe you could elaborate more on the holographic nature of reality, um, because unity consciousness teaches us that all is one. Oh, okay. And all is one, and spirit tech honors that by using symbols and sacred geometry, right?
yeah.
So everything is speaking. If
Mhm.
we learn the language,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's sound, shape, or silence. Spirit technology uses all of it to shift our state of awareness. That's why frequency and vibration is so crucial. They're not just tools we use to tune in, but
Mm-hmm.
they help to definitely raise our frequency and expose us to higher levels of awareness. Um, from mantras to tuning forks, light codes to binaural beats, it's all interface.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of interface, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's how okay. When it comes to interface, I want to bring this and tie this in when it comes to like the ancestors because like when we think about the ancestors, such as like the Egyptians or the Canaanites, Phoenicians, things like that, like
Mm-hmm.
all of these ancestral tribes and great uh, great civilizations of people, like they were all tapped in
Mm-hmm.
and they were all tapped into what we call ancient technology, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the stuff that they were teaching that we're still going back to researching today or were consciousness driven. So it's kind of like a cycle, right? We are essentially returning back to that overall perspective. When you think about the pyramids, when you think about Stonehenge, even the temples in Peru, right? They
Mm-hmm.
aren't just like, structures of bricks just stacked up. These things were like really deeply thought structures. They were aligned to the stars. Also, they were aligned to the Earth's magnetic field. When you think about sacred geometry, they displayed cases of displaying sacred geometry. Like this
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just like some simple guesswork or nothing like that. Like this was real deep levels of thought and unity.
Mm. Right. A lot of those structures still hum with energy
Hmm.
uh, because they were created in flow.
Yep.
And with divine order, no blueprints, no cranes, just consciousness in
Mhm.
harmony with the earth and the sky. And that is spirit tech.
Absolutely. Like the canvas was in the mind. So
Mm-hmm.
when you think about in today's time currently, right, we are seeing that collectively, people waking up through different forms of technology, through meditation, through breath work, energy healing, like all of these tools that people use to enhance themselves spiritually. We have luckily and gracefully been gifted these tools so that we are able to not only just rewire our nervous systems, but also reprogram ourselves from dealing with trauma and being able to just reconnect into the field of oneness of unity consciousness.
Mm-hmm. It's so real.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't just wellness trends, they're tools of revolution,
Right.
silent revolutions. And I
Yep.
think I mentioned this earlier, like
Mm-hmm.
how unity consciousness spreads from the inside out.
Yep.
These tools are helping to do that. And
Yep.
so, even if it's something that our collective conscious is not um, aware of consciously, there are subtle changes within everyone's design that's causing us to shift our focus and shift how we interact with ourselves and with each other um, on a subconscious level because of how connected we truly are.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And like when we think about frequency rising, right?
Mm-hmm.
That essentially that starts something in us. It puts us in a space to start activating things like the macabre, right? The light body.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this can be considered by some to be advanced spiritual tech family,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more than just something that's mystical or even it's really not even mystical. It's actually real because when you're activating that part of yourself, that macabre, that helps you to do things like astral travel, lucid dream, or just travel to different dimensions in different forms, right?
Mm-hmm.
These practices hold divine codes, and oftentimes, like when you think of them, and once you start to understand them, you understand that like these practices embody oneness, and not only that, it helps you to strengthen your connection to unity consciousness, and without losing your quote unquote individuality. You know.
Which is key. Which is key. Our individuality, um, it's a gift,
Yeah.
and that's the balance. Unity without erasing uniqueness. We're not meant to all be the same,
Yeah.
but we are meant to be in sync. And you mentioned the Merkaba,
Hmm.
and the Merkaba carries that balance. It's sacred geometry in motion. It's harmony made visible, just like the birds.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Just like the birds. Just like the birds. Hmm.
So, really quickly, in honor of of the sacredness of music,
Hmm.
we want to take a moment to reflect because music isn't just sound, it's the bridge between the physical and the divine. And a vibration reaches into the unseen and pulls out memory, emotion, and healing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you think about the word music, we mentioned this last week, but I feel like it's needed to just kind of give everybody a reminder if you are new coming into our podcast. The word music comes from the word muse, muses, or yeah, muses, and those divine beings who inspire things like poetry, vision, and song. When we listen to it deeply on a more deeper level, you come into a space of understanding that we are doing more than just vibing, right? We're communing because we're being mused and touched and motivated by spirit.
Yes, indeed. We
Mm.
certainly are. So across cultures, music is always more than entertainment. It was prayer, it's medicine, it's a tool for transformation, and that right song at the right time, ooh, is alchemy. It's alchemy, and we never really even think of it that way. Like we never really trip. Like,
Yeah,
hey, it reminds your spirit of who you are.
absolutely. So we want everybody to relax, sit back, take a deep breath, and we do hope that you all feel this. Um, we are going to share one of our sleeper tracks. It's a sonic offering for you all. We've been vibing with it super heavy, so we hope that it does uplift you and align you and move something sacred in you. So, with that being stated, we are going to take a quick break. Um, and hopefully, you guys enjoy the song. And we'll be right back.
Yes, indeed.
I ball out. I ball out. I ball out. I shine, I move, I glide. I rise, I flex, I vibe. I heal, I build, I bless. I grind, I glow, no stress. I ball out. I find me. Blessings come to me naturally and gracefully. Naturally, gracefully. I ball out, I ball out. I ball, I ball, 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 I ball out.
All right.
Yes, yes. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. um, I definitely felt that frequency now that we're back. But since we are back, we are going to continue diving deeper into unity consciousness and spirit tech and moving forward into DNA as a spiritual interface and the obviously the big topic, the rise of spiritual AI, ritual as living software, and what that means to build a new earth with technology that's going to be rooted in unity.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, this next segment is one where spirit, science, and soul all meet together. Stay tuned because this is where it gets multidimensional.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, let's talk about the code that's written into our very being, which is um, what we call DNA. Oh, peace, 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 peace.
Peace.
Welcome. We are in the building. Thank you
Peace,
for joining
Olathe, Tan, Sound Therapy. So beautiful to have you here.
us. Yes, indeed. Peace, peace.
Okay, so moving right along. Yes, a lot of people still see DNA as a biological sequence,
Hmm.
but in the spiritual sciences and in ancient tradition, DNA is a spiritual interface. It's a
Okay.
receiver, a transmitter. It
Hmm.
holds memory, multidimensional access, and ancestral codes. It's like a sacred blueprint for evolution.
Hmm. So when we align, I guess when we align our unity consciousness, right? I guess you could say that it moves us to start activating with that interface, right? Because not for us to just be able to remember who we are, but um, interacting with that interface allows us to heal. It provides us insight. And I think that what it also does is it gives us the opportunity to connect with higher realms. So, like using tools like as we previously mentioned, breath work, sound,
Mm.
so light, all of these practices together, when you interact them directly with your DNA on a vibrational level, you can kind of consider that to be a form of spiritual tech or spirit tech.
Mm. Yeah, and that leads us to something that we got to address:
Okay.
spiritual AI versus artificial AI. And
Okay.
right now, there's this global obsession with technology, artificial intelligence, transhumanism,
Hmm.
merging with with machines. What is that called? Singularity.
Yep.
Um, but true spiritual intelligence is organic. It's divine. It comes from intuition and not necessarily code.
Hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
So I agree. I agree. The soul, when you think about the soul, it doesn't technically need to be upgraded because, like, technically, it's a technology that's like far beyond anything that even quote unquote needs to be remembered, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
AI, because we're coming into a space and how everything is moving, is being built to simulate consciousness, but the spirit, the soul, already is consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But AI, it seeks to replicate that. Well, I would say, yeah, one seeks to replicate it, and then the other seeks to embody it. And when you think about the two, in comparison, like there is a major distinction.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And while AI might be powerful in the physical world, spirit AI, your higher self, your intuitive knowing, and your cellular wisdom is multidimensional.
Mm. Speak on it.
It's the intelligence of the cosmos flowing through your body in real time.
So when you say that, I think that that brings us into um, ritual and software, or symbolism and software, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of the things that I personally believe is that ritual is not just silly superstition. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a form of practice, spiritual programming. When you think about doing something as simple as lighting a candle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chanting a mantra, that is programming the matrix. When you're pouring a libation to give honor to your ancestors, that's more than just tradition. That's the code of the matrix being executed in the quote unquote spirit realm. You know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's I absolutely agree with you. Um, the symbols, geometry, prayers, they're like apps of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
And like software, they only work if the intention is clear and the system is aligned. And that's why rituals rooted in ego don't produce the same results as rituals rooted in unity.
Mm. Yeah, that's powerful,
Mhm.
and that's true. That's true.
It's
Um,
true.
I think that what we are doing, right? We are seeing the rise of what a lot of people would consider to be a form of new Earth technology, or even some ways you could say New Age.
Mm-hmm.
But these tools, like the ancient tools, the spiritual AI,
Mm-hmm.
these are things that are rooted in harmony with the earth.
Mm-hmm.
These things honor life. They also vibrate with a sense of of intention. So
Mm-hmm.
when you think about it, it's not about just escaping the world, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
about upgrading like yourself and upgrading your spirit with love, with frequency, and with purpose, right?
Mm-hmm. Upgrades.
Yeah, a lot of them coming.
Mm-hmm.
You
A
know,
lot of upgrades. Yeah. That term new age
yeah,
is so crazy though. It's like the more and more we get, the more and more further we go into the show, the more and more I take a look at that like, hmm,
yeah,
it's a little bit a little bit of colonialism there in the
yeah.
words new age. Just a little bit of colonialism.
It
But
is.
moving right along. So the future isn't just digital,
Mm,
it's vibrational. And the technologies of the new earth will reflect the consciousness of the people. Like if we fear, if we're in fear,
Right.
the technology will be controlling,
That's a
right?
fact.
But if we're in unity, okay, the technology will be liberating. And you can see that. You can see what's happening now. You can see in different arenas, in different settings,
Hmm.
in different containers. You can see this taking place.
Yeah, you can.
Hmm.
One of the things that, because I know we keep saying it, but in a normal sense of conversation, but while I'm reflecting on the conversation that we're having, I'm thinking about that movie Upgrade, and
Okay.
that was kind of scary.
Yeah,
That was
it
kind of
was.
scary. I'm going off topic a little bit. We're gonna bring it back, bring it around, but just like how the AI played such a crazy role in
Mhm.
manipulating the entire situation to free itself. Do you remember that part that I'm talking about towards the end?
Vaguely, but enlighten us.
Okay, so and this is a spoiler alert for anybody who haven't seen the movie Upgrade. Um, but towards the end of the movie, I
Hmm.
can't think of the main character's name.
I was just
But
about to ask you that.
yeah, I can't think of his name, but he's like he looked like Tom Hardy, but he's not
Hmm.
Tom Hardy. But towards the end of it, I'm thinking I'm getting the two movies mixed up. But either
Mm,
way, there was a part where like he was listening to the system to such a level, and he was fighting off all of these villains or whatever, I guess you could say,
mm-hmm,
towards the end. And it came to a point whereas he was going so hard where he thought that he was disconnecting from the technology. Like he wanted to die because he was tired of, being under control of the AI. But the
mm-hmm,
AI crafted things in such a way whereas like it was already ahead and it already was able to predict his human behavior and
mm.
essentially win because it had gained so much of a high level of consciousness. So I say that to say, because I'm bringing it back, I'm bringing it back that
That was
um,
scary.
it just calls us to reflect and think when it comes to technology as a collective. Like, what is the difference between quote unquote singularity and unity consciousness? Because a lot of so-called futurists talk
Mm-hmm,
about this coming singularity. I've heard Elon Musk talk about it, and
mm-hmm. That it
um,
was inevitable.
yeah, a few people on Joe Rogan
Mm-hmm,
and things like that. So when you think about this coming age of singularity, where tech and human intelligence become one, then that's kind of something we got to sit and reflect on. You know what I'm saying?
you are absolutely right, but it's kind of, and this is a little off, but it's something to think about when they're using, like for example, today's pacemakers.
Mm,
Um, today's pacemakers are technology that help certain people to live. Like if you're
yeah,
having an issue with your heart, if your heart is going out,
yeah,
um, they're talking about well, not that they're talking about, but they're using robotic limbs
yeah,
when soldiers lose limbs, like, and they've been doing this for a while. And
yeah,
so it's kind of something that's already been happening, but it's being introduced to instead of these just small stories here and there that you encounter that is being introduced on a world stage now.
yeah.
Um, that like in little bite-sized pieces.
Hmm.
So a lot of people are already experiencing singularity, and there's a country. We talked about this probably sometime last year, but there's a country where they've already started to put chips in their arms to pay for things. Like,
Yeah, I think that was in China.
was it in China or Sweden or
It might have been
a
Sweden too,
European
but I
country?
know for certain is they have it
Yeah,
in China.
yeah. So how far are we from singularity? I said all that to say like how far are we? And we
Yeah,
may already be on the precipice. Um, and we may have been there for a long time.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, while that might sound like unity on the surface, back to what we were talking about,
Yeah.
it's not the same. Singularity is the convergence through control. It's everything feeding into one system and the data stream, one grid. Unity consciousness, though, is the convergence. It's convergence through connection.
Mm.
So it's oneness without the loss of uniqueness.
Hmm.
But then again, unity consciousness is oneness without the loss of uniqueness. But at the same time, um, you can see how you can definitely see how that can be infringed on piece by piece, because what is uniqueness when everybody is the same, but no one sees that? No one is able to consciously be aware.
Or see things differently,
Yeah.
like, or not see things differently, but just have a different, a slight there a perspective that is not so hive minded, so to speak.
Hive minded.
Yeah.
That's a really good phrase to use. And
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if um this is something that came to mind when you said that. When
Mm-hmm.
you said hive minded, what came to mind for me was fear.
Hmm.
Um,
Fear to stand out.
fear of standing out,
Hmm. Okay.
fear of standing out, fear, wanting to have a hive mind and wanting everything to be the same comes from wanting to have control, and wanting to have control to such a degree comes from the ego.
Hmm.
It's the ego's response to fear.
Hmm.
And that's
Okay.
what was coming to mind when you were saying that. So I know
Nah, you
I
you
know
good.
I kind of
Um.
went off, but
Olaf Tan said insulin as well. I guess referring back to your comment about pacemakers and things like that.
oh, okay.
People walking around with a little AI attached to the administer insulin. I'm not sure if I'm saying
Oh,
that right.
oh, people are walking around with little AIs attached to them to administer insulin.
Oh yeah, I read that all wrong.
And that's
But
that
you're right.
is crazy. That is crazy. I'm not really familiar with that technology, but I do know in the medical field, like a lot is being replaced. A lot of what they would use, like transplanted parts for, they're
Mm-hmm.
just using machinery now. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, to deliver the insulin as well, that is crazy. That
Right.
is crazy.
So
It's getting
now,
closer and closer.
bringing it back, which
Okay.
with that being stated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a question, I guess, so to speak. Do
Okay.
does singularity wants to merge us through machines, or is it more of a case of where unity wants to merge us through love and human interaction and in resonance,
Mm,
for like remembrance? Because when you think about one being more mechanical and the other
mm-hmm.
being more spiritual and mystical,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I think so. So then the question becomes like, which frequency are we building with? Are
Hmm.
we tuning in the spirit, or are we outsourcing our power to machines? Um, that's the real spiritual fork in the road.
Hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, that is.
Okay, so let's see. Looks like we're gonna take a little break and go to our little commercial.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, um, our commercial. I guess once that rolls, we'll be right back, and we'll go into a little bit more into unity consciousness and spiritual technology, and then we'll also get into the weekly horoscopes. But yeah, we'll be right back, and we have another um,
Sleeper.
sleeper hit for you guys, and we hope you all enjoy it. And yeah, we'll be right back.
All right.
Light flows through me. Light flows through me. Peace moves in waves. I breathe the medicine. I breathe things to the name. Tayata bekanze maha bekanze ranze samu gate soha. Tayata bekanze maha bekanze ranze samu gate soha. Tayata bekanze maha bekanze ranze samu gate soha. Every wound is a portal to light breaking through. I lay down the burden, let healing renew. No fear in the shadows, just lessons and grace. Medicine Buddha, bring peace to this place. Tayata bekanze maha bekanze ranze samu gate soha. 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 Blue light surrounds me from head to my toes. The body remembers, but the spirit knows. I call on your wisdom, I rise from within. The cure is compassion, let the healing begin. Tayata bekanze maha bekanze ranze samu gate soha. 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 I am healed. I am whole. I am light. I am soul. Thank you. Medicine Buddha soha. Soil.
For a limited time only, you can take advantage of our special offer on our detailed astrological reports. They make a great gift, so don't miss out on this opportunity to connect with your cosmic divinity. At Sacred Ashram Ministries, we offer profound insights through our astrological report readings.
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Well, family, it's finally that time. It's the class that a lot of people have been waiting for, the Dragon Magic 103 class. We did Dragon Magic 102 back in 2020, and now in 2025, we're doing the Dragon Magic 103 class, the long-awaited class. It's going to be on April 27th of 2025 at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Tickets will be $100. The website you can go to get your tickets, family, will be at www.newlifetools.org, newlifetools.org. Come to the event. If you've been looking to take your dragon magic, your dragon altar, and your dragon information to the next level, this is the class you want to be in, family. Peace and blessings.
Sacred Ashram Ministries, we believe in the power of prayer and the guidance of divine forces. Whether you seek peace, healing, or clarity, our prayer request page is here for you. Simply share your prayer intentions and let us unite in spiritual harmony to manifest your desires. Discover the angels watching over you with our new Guardian Angel Numerology Calculator. Enter your name and date of birth and unveil the celestial beings offering their powerful protection and guidance in your life. Visit SacredAshramMinistries.org today. Illuminate your path with prayer and the divine wisdom of your guardian angels.
At Sacred Ashram Ministries, we offer profound insights through our astrological report readings. They make a great gift, so don't miss out on this opportunity to connect with your cosmic divinity.
Ever wondered how the stars could guide your every step? Unlock the cosmic blueprint of your life with the 30-day astrological calendar and transit report from Sacred Ashram Ministry. With daily planetary influences, you'll gain insights into how celestial movements impact your mood, energy, and decisions. Imagine knowing the best times for important events, career changes, relationship developments, or self-care. Our auspicious dates feature equips you with powerful timing. Plus, with challenge navigation tips, transform obstacles into stepping stones for growth. Want real-time updates? The bonus calendar file seamlessly integrates into your device, keeping you aligned throughout your daily routines. For just $20.20 as a one-time purchase, or the affordable subscription for a low cost of $14.44 monthly, ensure you stay in sync with the cosmos with new reports every 30 days. Embrace clarity and purpose in your life. Ready to illuminate the temple within? Purchase your report today and harness the power of the stars.
All righty. And we are back. Thank you so much, family, for sticking in there with us. We appreciate you. We are grateful that you are still with us and
Yes.
tuned in and present and grounded. um, So, just for the sake of time, as always, we do like to close out each episode by just going into the cosmic weather, particularly since we didn't get a chance to get into it last week. But the universe is always speaking to us. So, um, if you are still listening, we have plenty to share.
All right. Yes, there's a lot to reflect on this week,
Mhm.
both in the stars and in the world around us. So let's take another breath together and open space for some celestial wisdom. All right. So, what are the significance? Let's see. We're going to do the global predictions for
Mhm.
April 27th through May 3rd.
Okay.
What are the significant planetary transits then this week that we should be aware
Absolutely. Look, I feel like the weatherman.
of?
One of the key events this week will be the new moon, which is actually tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on the 27th, or
Hmm.
today, I guess you could say. This lunation will encourage us to ground ourselves, which is why thank you so much, Righteous, for having us take that breath so we can ground ourselves. Focus on financial stability and also just set those intentions related to your personal values and also material security. So, we're going to go ahead and dive into, I guess you could say, part one, which will be our global predictions and major transits for the week of April 27th to May 3rd, as part of this, our segment.
Okay. So let's see. Major transits. Um, Paco, what is the climate looking like as we head into the end of April and the start of May?
Well, like I already said, the new moon will be tomorrow, so that's definitely something to look out for. Also, it's not current, but we did have a bit of a lunar, what was it called, like a lunar smile on the 25th. It was
Mm.
like a little bit of a cosmic portal um, that was really benefic. We're still in that energy though, because when we're dealing, anytime we're dealing with like certain transits, like that energy is good between 3 days before and after for the most part. So yeah, but particularly the new moon this week or tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect.
Hmm.
And so I love that new moons are always powerful beginnings. And in Taurus, we're really being asked to assess what we truly value.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that I should have mentioned is that Taurus, that's ruled by Venus. So the focus, once again, is just going to be on security, money, beauty, and self worth. So there's going to be a strong call to just realign our personal priorities, and match that with sustainable growth. So with Venus now being direct in Pisces, thankfully, right?
Hmm.
But I think it's going to retrograde back a little bit later, but it's direct in Pisces for right now. After completing her retrograde, I think it was early April. Relationships and finances should begin to start to smooth out, which makes sense in a lot of ways. But the lessons from the retrograde will still linger. It's going to be a time for reconciliation and redefining beauty, and also just healing through empathy. Empathy is going to be super important.
Mm. Yeah, we've had a few clients ask about the recession. Any signs from the stars?
Indeedy, indeedy. So we're going to be in a period of massive restructuring. One of the reasons because Jupiter is still transiting through Taurus. Um,
Oh, okay.
well, it's in Gemini, but it will be transiting through Taurus. which magnifies both abundance and inflation in a sense. So when Jupiter expands on whatever it touches, um, it expands into whatever it touches. I should say. Let me clarify. And Taurus governs banking, obviously agriculture, and material stability. So this transit is going to push us into more stable, grounded solutions and systemic economic issues. Yep.
Mm, okay. Okay. So it's a cosmic push for practical magic manifesting through responsibility.
Yep. Practical magic indeed. Also with Saturn and Pisces as well. There's going to be, dang, a karmic reckoning.
Mm,
Karmic reckoning around illusions. Made
mm,
me think about something. But in the sense of the market, though, when it comes to leadership or social movements, a lot of people are awakening up to truths. It was somebody that we listened to recently, and they were talking about how, like, even in a non-spiritual spaces, it was like they were speaking about how they were watching even an MMA YouTube channel,
mm-hmm,
and just like it was regular comments about things being scripted. So
mm,
that's kind of going into the space of people just having that awareness, so things can't be spiritually bypassed anymore. You know.
mm. Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed.
That further touches on how we are cosmically interwoven with each other.
Yeah.
Um, like we were talking about earlier with unity consciousness.
Yeah. It
Um,
is.
how there tends to be these themes that we're all touched by.
Mhm.
Um, unity consciousness. There we go.
Yeah.
So
Every,
now going into cosmic energy themes, what energy themes should our listeners tune into this week? What do you think?
so once again, just going back into the aspect of grounding. This week is going to be all about earth wisdom, emotional alignment. The Taurus new moon is going to bring us back into our bodies and just reconnect us with Earth. So grounding is going to be super, super important during this current transit. Also, Neptune is going to be active in Pisces, so that's going to also push us to bring harmony and angles to the current lunation.
Mm,
Going to have a lot of intuitive downloads. Spiritual dreams are going to be really potent. And also, you're going to have a lot of emotion. Look, tongue tied. A lot of emotional breakthroughs are going to be more than likely during this current transit.
mm,
Hmm.
okay. So it sounds like a week for both grounding and ascending. I guess you could say maybe practical magic meets soul truth. Is that
That's very
would
well
you
said.
say
Practical
something like
magic
that?
meets soul truth. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do want to bring this as a reminder as well, because we didn't really get a chance to go into it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury is in Aries, so still be mindful in terms of your communication. Your thoughts and
Right.
conversations could end up being a little bit too direct, too blunt sometimes.
Oh
So
boy, did we see that this week. Oh
uh,
no.
be mindful. Be mindful, y'all. I'm telling y'all from
Yeah.
firsthand
It's
experience. Be
it's
mindful
real.
how you
It's
speak your
real.
truth.
Mm-hmm.
You can sometimes you can
Watch
just
those words.
you can feel the energy. Oh, look, Alexa. I don't know if y'all heard that, but Alexa's like, what's going
Yeah.
on? But yeah, definitely be mindful how you speak your truth.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. It is key. 'Cause although it might be your truth, you may be offending somebody in a big way. And that could be a problem.
Yes, yes.
Be
Me
careful.
hear you. Me hear you. Thank you,
Um,
everybody, for watching this episode of Righteous Frequency Podcast.
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, um, on to our spiritual tools and resources. Um, If this cosmic weather report is stirring something in you, remember you can deepen your understanding with one of our consultations.
Yes, yes, yes. So, just a gentle reminder for everybody: we are offering personalized astrocartography consultations. We also have 30-day transit reports, as you've seen in our break, our commercial, and we are now offering dream interpretation services and natal chart consultations that can help you align with the stars. So you can book these at affordable offerings at sacredashramministries.org/consultation booking. And that'll also be in the link in our description as well. So check it
Yes,
out.
indeed. We love helping the community align with both purpose and prophecy. That is why we are here. And so please do check us out. Okay. Now, moving right along to our weekly horoscopes. Yay,
Mm,
for April 27th through May 3rd. I'm going to start off with Aries.
okay.
Um, Let's see. Aries, this week, the new moon in Taurus on April 27th highlights your second house of finances
Mm,
and your personal values. It's an opportune time to reassess your financial strategies and align them with your core beliefs. So consider setting practical goals um, and um, try to steer those goals towards uh, things that will enhance your sense of security and self-worth.
mm, absolutely. Absolutely. Moving forward to Taurus, April 20th to May 20th. Boy, oh boy, Taurus. Man, oh man. Shout out to my Taurus people. Giving
Yes.
y'all some many
Mm,
prayers and positive energy.
yeah.
Taurus, the spotlight is definitely on you. With the new moon in your sign, this celestial event marks a personal new year. It's going to encourage you to set your intentions that foster personal growth and self improvement. Embrace this period to initiate changes that will reflect towards your authentic self and long term aspirations, because that is so very important in this current climate. Trust
Mm, indeed. Indeed.
me.
Uh, Gemini, the new
Yay.
moon in Taurus, the new moon in Taurus illuminates your 12th house, prompting introspection and spiritual renewal. Uh, this is a favorable time to release past burdens and engage in practices that nurture your inner peace.
Okay.
Embrace solitude to gain clarity and prepare for the upcoming Gemini season.
Yeah, everybody needs to prepare. Code red.
Yeah.
No, not code red. Um, the Geminis are coming. The Geminis are coming. No. But moving forward to Cancer, June 21st. I was gonna say July 21st. June 21st to July 22nd. So Cancer, this week is going to definitely push you to emphasize your 11th house of friendships and community. The new moon in Taurus is going to encourage you to connect with like-minded individuals and participate in group activities that will help you activate and align with your ideals. So, networking can be really beneficial for you. It can lead to opportunities that can support you and your long term goals. Yeah.
Indeed, Cancer. Indeed. All right. Moving on to Leo, July 23rd through August 22nd.
Hmm.
Leos, the new moon in Taurus activates your 10th house of career and public image.
Hmm.
This is an ideal time to set professional goals and seek recognition for your efforts. Consider how your work aligns with your values and take steps towards achieving long term success. It's
Yes,
a good
yes,
time
yes,
for that.
yes. Listen, listen, Leos. We know you don't like to listen most of the time because you have your own agenda and you move how you move. But yeah, it'll be a good time to, you know, work on your long term success. Moving
Yes.
forward to Virgos, August 23rd to September 22nd. Virgo, this week The new moon in Taurus is definitely going to be pushing you to influence your ninth house of higher learning and exploration. So it's going to be a really good period to just pursue those educational endeavors. It's going to be also an ideal time to plan your travel or engage in philosophical studies, expanding your horizons, which can lead to personal growth and also new perspectives. So be open minded. I know it's hard to hear that, Virgo, because you see things how you see them, but
Yes,
be open
indeed.
minded.
Indeed. Um, okay, so uh, Libra.
Yes, indeed. Libra.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. It's back on me, huh? Um, Libra. So the new moon in Taurus on the 27th is going to illuminate your eighth house of transformation and shared resources. So this is going to be a really potent time to address financial partnerships, work on any debts or inheritances. Debts or inheritances, excuse me. Also, emotionally, you can find yourself confronting deep seated fears or desires.
Mm,
So make sure to take this time to embrace this period as an opportunity for profound personal growth and healing. Mm.
indeed. Um, Scorpio, October 23rd through November 21st. Scorpio, this week's new moon in Taurus activates your seventh house of partnerships. It's an ideal moment to initiate new relationships or redefine existing ones. Whether in business or personal life, focus on building connections that are grounded in trust and mutual respect. Be
Mm.
open to collaborations that align with your long term goals.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes,
Go,
indeed.
Scorpio.
Yes,
Make
go
it happen.
Scorpio. Learn to trust. Be open to trust.
Yes,
Be
trust.
open.
Yes, yes.
Before we move on to Sagittarius, Olaf Tan says, never listening, never listen. I'm learning I'm more of a Leo than a Cancer with my Leo stellium, and it's all making sense. Yes, it's good to listen. It's
Yes,
good to listen.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
And speaking,
We are all learning. We are
yeah,
all learning forever.
man, let me tell
There's a
you.
statement that has stuck with me since I was very little, and
Mhm.
I have never forgot it. And it's a mantra for
Okay.
me, and that is, "She who knows anything knows she knows nothing."
Mm.
So we are always learning. Some of
Yes.
us are. Some of us, I can't
Some of us
say.
is hard headed, huh?
I'm not going to say some of us are hard headed. I'm going to say that some of us come to the realization of that fact later on in life,
Okay.
uh, possibly.
I
Or
hear
like
you.
the OGs would always say, keep living. Hmm.
Keep living. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to invite you to keep living. Yes, indeed.
Mm. Yes, indeed. Yes. Well, look, you live and you learn. So
Yeah,
how
you
about
do. I like that one. Yeah,
that? Absolutely. But speaking of fire, since we just spoke on Leo, we're moving over to um is that 180 of Gemini? Yeah, Sagittarius is 180 of Gemini, right?
he sure is.
So we are moving into the fire
Same
signs. Good
Sag.
old Sagittarius, November 22nd to December 21st. So Sagittarius, my fire sign homies. The Taurus new moon on April 27th highlights your sixth house of health and daily routine. So this is a really good time to just implement any new habits that will enhance your well-being, your health. Consider revising your schedule so that you can have a balance between work and personal time. And anything that's dealing with small, consistent changes can always lead to significant improvements in your overall lifestyle and cycle. So definitely, take a moment to do that.
Mm. Capricorn, December 22nd through January 19th.
Yes.
Capricorn, the new moon in Taurus energizes your fifth house of creativity and self expression. This week, uh, it encourages you to engage in activities that bring you joy and allow your inner child to flourish. Whether it's pursuing a hobby or spending time with loved ones, or exploring artistic endeavors. Prioritize what makes your heart sing.
Mm. What makes your heart sing? Um, Aquarius, January 20th to February 18th. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. My wonderful water bearers. The Taurus new moon on April 27th, it shines a light on your fourth house of home and family. So it's a favorable time to make changes in your living environment or to strengthen familiar family bonds. Look, I couldn't get that one right to save me.
Ah,
But yeah, to strengthen those family bonds, reflect on what makes you feel secure and nurtured, and take those steps to cultivate that. Wow, am I getting so tongue tied with the water bearers? Cultivate that foundation in your personal life. All right, take those steps, nurture those relationships. Yes, and that that
indeed.
that sense of security, nurture those things.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Indeed.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so Pisces, February 19th through March 20th. Um, Pisces, this week's new moon in Taurus activates your third house of communication and learning.
Hmm.
You're encouraged to express your thoughts clearly and seek knowledge that broadens your perspective. Engage in conversations, write, or take up a new course of study. Your words have power. Use them to inspire and connect.
Yes, indeed.
Connection is
So,
key. Hmm.
inspire and connect, Pisces. All right.
Hmm.
Don't let one fish take over the other. Be balanced.
Don't do that.
Olaf saying, you want to live and learn. Remember that song. I didn't even know that was a song. I swear I didn't. I
I
was
do.
just saying that because
You,
that was
you got to live and learn.
oh yeah.
No,
Okay. My bad. Yo, that slipped my mind.
that's the beat right there.
Wasn't that who made that? Was it
I,
wasn't
you know
true.
what? I think it was one of those
It was one hit wonder group, I think.
UK groups,
Was
maybe.
it? It wasn't High Five or nobody like that,
No,
right?
I think it was like a UK group. You
Let me
got
see.
to live and learn. I think so.
So it's a two songs. It's one by Joe Public. So maybe that
Oh,
was it.
I think it was the Joe Public one. I
It
think it
might
was.
be. And I think he was from like the UK or so.
See,
Okay. My bad. We might have to play that.
BET Queen, okay? BET Queen.
Absolutely.
All
But
right.
with that being stated, just once again, just thank everybody. This does conclude our detailed horoscopes for all 12 signs of the zodiac for the week of April 27th to May 3rd. And yes, right. Did you got anything else for us?
Just remember that the personalized astrological insights,
Mm-hmm.
you can explore astrocartography consultations and astrological reports that are available at SacredAshramMinistries.org. Our services include dream interpretations and natal consultations, and they're designed to support your spiritual journey and are affordably priced, which is very important.
Yes.
Book your sessions at the consultation booking.
Yes, yes. Align with the cosmos and allow us to assist you to navigate on your path with clarity and purpose.
Yes, indeed. And something else I wanted to add was that I don't know if we mentioned it earlier when we were
Mm.
talking about spirit tech and unity consciousness, but this is a two-part series, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
so we'll touch on it again next week, huh?
yeah, it's
Cool.
definitely we it may be next week or it may be the week after.
Oh yeah, because we have a guest next week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
family, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, and subscribe. If you like this type of information, please do support our channel, and we do greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate your support. Um, but yes, do like, share, and subscribe. Very, very important. Um, and that wraps up that wraps it up for this week's journey through cosmic currents and spiritual technology, the collective consciousness, unity consciousness. We appreciate you riding this wave with us, your energy, your time, your presence. It means everything.
Yes. If anything from today has sparked something in your spirit, we do invite you to go deeper. If you do have any other questions or you got any topics that you wanted to touch upon, let us know. Also, if you're interested in booking a session to explore your natal chart or just sit with the medicine that we just dropped that came through, we are here to hold space, not with words, but also with wisdom. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Don't forget to visit us. And also check out our Etsy store for spiritual tools that align with the work that we're all doing together.
Yes, yes. With that being stated, everybody, this has been another episode of the Righteous Frequency Podcast, episode 9. We will see you all next week. Until then, stay rooted in Earth because it's going to be important with this Taurus new moon. Stay connected to the sky and also align within your divine frequency.
And watch your words as they come out your mouth. Watch them carefully. Right before, when they are at the door about to make their debut, stop them and look at them really good. Stop your words. Look at
Stop
them.
them.
And then
Stop.
let them
Can't do
go.
my
If they
hand.
look good, let them go. If they need a little, I don't know, you need to wipe them off a little bit, do that. But look at your words before you let them free.
Yeah. Yes, indeedy.
Peace and blessings, family.
Peace, peace, peace.